It's more about the interludes. The cabinet is a little
On that held A, I'm doing a bit of a walk down, so.
And as overtime, we used to meet, crying over yesterday. She doesn't know.
Once again, we traveled up to Thunder Bay, Ontario to record the next record. It's been a couple of years since we've been to Thunder Bay doing shows or recordings. The last time we recorded an album here was a couple of years ago when we recorded The Great Sea, and that was done out at Chippewa Park. So for this project, we are at Blueprint Studio in Thunder Bay, and it's a wonderful new studio that is owned and operated by Jean-Paul DeRover, who also plays guitar and Nadjiwan as well. And the engineer on the session was fantastic, Mac Davis. A really great guy, really positive attitude, super professional. And of course, we had Ron Skinner come up from Southern Ontario to produce the session as well. So we had the guys fly up the night before on the Monday, and then on the Tuesday, we were in the studio recording the tracks. And once again, great big thanks to the band, to Kevin, to Adam, to Alex, to Jean-Paul, and of course, everyone involved in Blueprints. Once again, Blueprints is a music and audio production studio located in Thunder Bay, and they cater to clients both in the music and film industries in a variety of capacities.
Now is the Right Time of Year by Nadjiwan was recorded at Blueprints in Thunder Bay. The studio is pretty awesome. It's state-of-the-art place, floating floors, nice size recording room, and vocal booth and drum booth. And it's basically everything you'd need to record a band or any other audio project. The control room is really well built, and all the gear is brand new and working great. Which is always a bonus. I've been going to Thunder Bay for 35 years recording Mark Marilainen. First time was in a band he was in called Small House Stories, and that was 35 years ago. And Thunder Bay didn't have a lot in terms of recording facilities. We recorded in a small studio with a Fostex quarter-inch 8-track. And the recording worked out pretty well, but the city itself, I think because it's so isolated, didn't really have a lot of choice in terms of facilities. And that's, been the case over the years when going up to Thunder Bay. Not that it was terrible, but it wasn't like a major city, say like a Toronto or a Chicago or New York, where there's these beautiful facilities. Now with Blueprints in Thunder Bay, it sort of brings a really world-class facility to this city. And that was quite amazing. So it was great to record there.
Can't you see these lights are burning through these tired eyes of mine? And can't you see this world keeps turning? Don't let the world
Here at Blueprints, we do a little bit of everything. We do music production, we do audio post-production, we even do video production from time to time. On any given day, we have any number of projects rolling through the door, whether we're working on something orchestral, or we're working on sound effects, or we're doing something in studio, recording a podcast. It doesn't really matter, we do it all. We've got 4,000 square feet of facility that we use for all kinds of different projects, whether it's an upcoming musician working on their very first demo, or it's somebody that's releasing their newest project that has a huge orchestral component to it, or a film that's going to be premiering at TIFF. We do it all. Since we're based in Thunder Bay, we have the opportunity to not only boost musicians from our area, but also to encourage people from the South to come up here. So for example, with Nadjiwan, it was great to have Mark and the rest of the team come up here to Thunder Bay to share their talents and their skills with us. My favorite part of the whole process is just being able to spend time with these guys. I've known Mark for a long time. I've known the rest of the band for a long time. So for me, to be able to work with them in the capacity of being a performer and also being part of the audio team, it was just great to be able to spend time with them in that professional capacity, but then also just as friends.
And Alt 1 on at the same time. So you just pick up headphones and hear the same thing coming out of the speakers.
Sorry, message about the thermostat. Check phone.
Oh, no, okay.
Blueprints is a world-class studio, and recording there was a delight. Nadjiwan and Jean-Paul go way back now, and it's always a pleasure to record anything with JP. It's a modern and well-equipped space that makes you focus on the song you're performing and nothing else. That's what you want out of a studio for the purest results. My favorite part of any recording session is when the band completely locks in with one another and each take feels like an expression that goes beyond the individual. It's hard to explain exactly what that locked in feeling actually is. When you're playing the music but not really thinking about it, it's all like kind of autopilot. I find those are always the best takes. The other thing that I love about any recording session is going back into the control room after a handful of takes and hearing it all back together through proper speakers. It's always so interesting.
Yeah, like that.
Want to try like that?
Yeah, that'll rock. You can do no wrong, unless we hit the wrong notes.
Which I did a bunch in the last thing, so let's do this again.
So to me, the most important part of a group recording, aside from all the tech stuff working properly, of course, is the vibe. And I gotta say, Blueprints in Thunder Bay has the vibe nailed. It's a beautiful space, small enough to be cozy, but big enough to be comfortable. And JP and his crew are top-notch, super friendly, super professional, and incredibly well prepared. They had everything set up ahead of time and tested before we even arrived. So it was basically kind of a plug and play situation, which is amazing. Keeps the energy, the momentum going or whatever. The other thing that was great about recording at Blueprints was having all of the guitars and amps in the same room was a nice touch. Sort of fits with the rock aesthetic, I guess, of being able to feel some air moving in the room and hearing the blend of the guitars in the room. So yeah, Blueprints overall, a great experience. As far as my favorite part of the recording goes, I'm gonna have to go with vibe again. Everybody involved, band, crew, were super chill, very positive. Everyone was prepared and knew their parts, and Ron provided the perfect amount of subtle direction to keep everything on track and positive. So it really felt like an ego-less group effort with everyone steering towards the same goal. Also, I gotta hand it to Mark. His songs are just really catchy and fun to play. So And I think his laid back, kind of positive attitude also rubs off on everyone involved. So, yeah, great vibe, great fun to play, great tunes.
So for this album, we found ourselves at Blueprint Studio in Thunder Bay. I loved recording there. It's a remarkable facility conceived and designed by our guitarist JP. It's an absolutely beautiful space, both acoustically and visually. The dedicated drum room was a treat to record in. It was very comfortable and very well isolated from the rest of the band, which allowed me to hit the drums with the intensity required by the harder tracks, and allowed the subtleties of the softer material to be captured properly, isolated from the rest of the instruments. My favorite part of this recording, as is the case with most of the Nadjiwan material we've done together, is the people involved. We've all played together for years at this point, and with that experience comes a different type of musical connection that's more beautiful and honest than even the most polished, talented musicians can accomplish when they are strangers to each other. That interpersonal connection, that knowing where the other people are going musically, is so, so powerful. One of the things I enjoy about playing in Nadjiwan is the diversity of material that we get to work with. This album, for example, sees us go from very hard, aggressive rock tracks to light country tracks with brushes, and many other feels in between. Every track seems to have its own spirit. When I play, I try very hard to let the music breathe. As the drummer in the band, I believe my job, along with Adam Gunmori, the bass player, is to create a foundation for the lyrics, the melody, and the other instruments to breathe and to shine in. My goal always is not to overplay and to give others that space to speak their truth and express their musical voices.
It's his story of starting over again. Never bothered to ask her name. There was no turning back. Little things said and done can't be taken away. Little things said and done remind us of yesterday. She sits on the corner of the road where we used to meet, crying over yesterday. She doesn't know what she needs. Little things said and done can't be taken away. Little things said and done remind us of yesterday. Little things said and done can't be taken away. Little things said and done remind us of yesterday. Little things said and done can't be taken away. Little things said and done remind us of yesterday.
It seems as though this will not pass so quickly. Synthetic apologies have become less appealing.
You don't have to tell me how you've been,
'Cause I can see all the ways that
that you've sinned. I know where you are. I know where you go. Lost your dreams to the sun. Try to help the only one. It's forced me to the middle so I cannot see. Taken over and placed in captivity. Cleaning our thoughts, our souls, and our dreams. And bringing together all ideas and beliefs. But I know where you are. I know where you go. You lost your dreams to the sun. Try to help the only one. I know where you are. I know where you go. You lost your dreams to the sun. Try to help the only
All right. Totally. Yeah, I thought that was good too. Any comments, concerns, criticisms?
I'm happy.
Do you want to hear one? Let's go through
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
My favorite part of the recording is always the people. Spending time with people in the studio is a pretty special experience. Everybody's focused and on their game, but they're also trying to relax and have fun. And so, yeah, it's just an interesting place for people to be. It's great to record with Mark because he likes to record the full band all at once. And that's kind of my favorite way of working as well. And the band is just so good that they're able to do it.
I see the sparkle in her eyes as she sees through my disguise. She whispers secrets in the breeze and bends the stars with subtle ease.